Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Allie if you are new, and I'm so excited you're here. Today I am sharing with y'all my nighttime cleaning routine. This is the first time sharing this in our new house and I'm excited. So I, as always, like to preface that this is a routine that my entire family partakes of. My kids help clean up. My husband is always right there with me, cleaning with me. But for the sake of this video, my kids will not be in a lot of it, and my husband also prefers not to be on camera, and I respect that 100%. So you've already seen me unloading the dryer. I will be folding those clothes later. I typically like to fold my clothes at night after the kids have gone to bed and I watch a show or something. And then I'm also going to be sharing this yummy recipe at the end of this video. We had this for dinner, so stay tuned to see this recipe. And then now what I'm doing is just tidying up the kitchen. I'm going to be washing the dishes, cleaning the countertops, and just kind of tidying up after the dinner cooking and eating chaos. We still do not have a working dishwasher, although we have finally gotten a call in to have somebody come out and fix it. So I am putting away dishes that had been washed earlier in the day. We typically have to wash dishes by hand several times throughout the day to stay on top of them. That way we don't end up with a sink full of dirty dishes. I slipped on somebody's necklace. You'll see several mishaps throughout this video, and I've slowed them all to normal speed and turned on the sound for your enjoyment. My favorite all-purpose cleaner as of late is the Force of Nature disinfectant and all-purpose cleaner. So I'm filling up my appliance right now because I usually have to make this, I would say maybe once a week with all the cleaning that I do around my house. And it's super easy. You just add a packet, which is salt and vinegar, into this appliance filled with water, turn it on, and Energy actually converts those ingredients into your disinfectant. I think the initials are EPA, certified to disinfect, so you can use it in hospitals, in doctor's offices, in schools. So I've really been loving it. It does a great job cleaning. I love that it disinfects, and also it's non-toxic. I will have it linked in the description box for y'all if you want to check it out. I also have a discount code for, I believe it's 40% off of a starter kit or a bundle. And this is not sponsored. I just have really been loving using this. There are usually one or two chairs in the kitchen because my kids love to help us cook. You'll actually see little hands in at the end of the video when I am cooking dinner, helping. There's always somebody helping. There's also always smudges on our stainless steel, on our walls, and it's so tempting to get frustrated with the constant mess. Now that we live out in the country, there's constantly dirt. We have a new dog, so there's dog hair everywhere. Her feet get muddy, and it's really, really tempting to get frustrated and discouraged. But I have to remind myself that these kids live here too, and this isn't going to be forever. And so I need to just remember to be patient and appreciate the good things about having little kids at home, because one day I will have a clean house. I'll be able to have a spotless house all the time, but right now that is not that season, and I need to just soak it all in and cherish every little good thing. This is not something that I typically do every single night, so I'm showing you things that I do typically, but then also a few things that I don't do every single night, but I do it at night when it needs to be done. I'm stopping cleaning the kitchen for now so that I can go into the playroom and the kids and I together will tidy up the toys. And so that's what we're gonna do next before the kids go to bed. I did a video a little bit ago sharing how I decluttered all of our toys and set up a toy rotation. That has been so huge for our family. I love having that. Number one, because we have way less stuff lying around. Number two, the kids can clean up after themselves, which is huge. And number three, they appreciate the toys that they have. So the kids are able to help me clean up the toys here. And I won't pretend like it's easy to have the kids help me clean up. It would be easier for me just to do it myself. And there is a lot of instructing, directing, encouraging, and so it's not easy at all, but it is worth it. Number one, to have help, and number two, just to teach them, because that's my job as their mother. The Force of Nature cleaning solution is all done now. Once the light goes all the way around and turns, I think it turns green, that means that it's done. And then I just pour it into this spray bottle that came in the starter kit, and it's all done. It's ready to use. So I'm going to use this to spray off my countertops and spray off the dining table as well. This is what we had for dinner. It's meatballs and polenta. So good. It looks a little sketch, me dishing it up into the food storage container, but it was fantastic. I do have some tips to make it less mushy like this one is, so I'll share those at the end of the video in the recipe. So now it's time to hand wash the dishes. I do have a little bit of a system. If y'all hand wash dishes and you have a better system, let me know. But it ends up being where the one side of the sink is always filled with dirty dishes. So I never take the time to unload them, put them on the counter so that I can fill up the sink with like soapy water. So what instead I do is I just fill up like one of the largest bowls with soapy water, and I will, kind of get my soapy water from there to wash the dishes. I started off in my Caraway Dutch oven, but then I quickly realized that I was afraid that the utensils would scratch it. So you'll see me switching from this to just like a glass bowl. But yeah, hand washing dishes is an adventure. I do have a dish wand, but for some reason I'm just loving regular old dish soap and a Scrub Daddy sponge to hand wash my dishes. This baking dish that I cooked dinner in was pretty crusty. These were not coming off with regular dish soap and a sponge. So I pulled out my Power Paste, the Scrub Daddy Power Paste. I've loved this stuff for the stovetop, which you'll see me use, and I also use it in the bathtubs and showers. So good, works so good. So I'm using it here, and it took this stuff off no problem. Did take just a little bit of scrubbing, mostly just to soften it, but yeah, so you can see, took it all off, and then at the end of rinsing, you'll see just how nice and shiny it was. Otherwise, if I didn't have this stuff, I don't know what I would do to get the crusties off, but yeah, sparkling clean now. You'll see at the end of this video while I'm cooking why the stovetop looks the way it does. I'm surprised it doesn't look worse. There was a little bit of a catastrophe, but I am going to be deep cleaning the stovetop with my Scrub Daddy Power Paste again and a Scrub Mommy sponge, and it does the trick no problem. I love the suds. It's so satisfying to watch this, honestly. So yeah, I'm scrubbing it down, getting all the stuff all loosened up, but there is still some pretty stuck on spots, especially because of the accident. And so I'm using my scraper tool here that I also use all over my house to scrape off those really, really stuck on pieces. This Force of Nature cleaner does a good job of removing grease. That's one of my favorite ways to use this. Sometimes I'll use a different all-purpose cleaner and it just leaves it kind of filmy looking, and then I'll spray this over the top of it and it makes it super, super shiny. I forgot to say at the beginning of this video that I do most of this stuff pretty much every night. It really does not take that long. It seems like it does, but it really doesn't take that long. Because we have to hand wash dishes right now, our sink gets super gross. And as you can see, the drains are really gross. They're just old. This house is pretty old and we don't have a garbage disposal, which as soon as we get new countertops, I don't know when that's going to be. It could be years from now. But whenever we do and we get a new sink, that's the first thing I'm going to get is a garbage disposal. So I am cleaning out the sink. It's what I do pretty much every night. Doesn't take long at all. I just use Dawn, I think it's called Power Wash dish soap. Spray that on, use another Scrub Mommy sponge, give it a quick wipe down, rinse it out. It's squeaky clean and ready for tomorrow. Our floors also get pretty dirty because we have 3 kids, because it's us cooking in the kitchen, and because of the dog. The dog Shed, she's a golden retriever, I don't know why she never made an appearance in this video. She's here, but she sheds like crazy and then brings in dirt and dust on her little paws. So I always either sweep or vacuum the floors at night, just simply to keep up with the mess. Again, this doesn't take long. I just kind of run it over, don't do a perfect job, but it's necessary. Moving on into the living room now, I'm just going to tidy this area up. There's blankets and pillows because my kids got a cozy couch. Actually, they got the 2-pack for Christmas and they have been loving this. I will link it for y'all. If you want a good present for your younger kids, get a cozy couch. They don't actually build that many forts. Sometimes they do. They'll set it up in a circle and then put a blanket over the top. And this is designed to build forts. But they really love, especially my 4-year-old, he loves to dive off the couch onto them and do flips and just do boy things. So highly recommend, but I'm going to be cleaning it up because it does kind of bother me when the living room is messy. And also I just have to do it to reset for tomorrow so the kids can do it all over again. But my Christmas decor definitely is still up in this video. Thankfully, I have since taken it down. We do still have our tree up. That's still up. And there's still, the pillows are in vacuum storage bags in my bedroom. But I don't know why. It just took us a really long time to get Christmas decor down this year. We didn't have a lot of energy to do it. And yeah, life just happens and keeps you busy. These floors stay dirty, stay dirty. So like I said, in vacuuming them, I'm using my LG stick vacuum. I've had this vacuum for a really long time. It comes with 2 attachments. I think probably most stick vacuums do, but one's for hardwood, one's for carpet. And I just love having it. I just keep it kind of around the corner, kind of where I'm at right now, plugged in our laundry room. And so we can easily grab it whenever we need to. But yeah, these floors stay so dirty. I actually am considering getting a Swiffer, just so that I can quickly mop up the floors instead of having to bring out my O-Seeder like every other day is really when my floors need to be vacuumed or mopped. So yeah, let me know if y'all have a Swiffer and what you think of it, because I'm kind of thinking about getting one just for everyday mopping or every other day mopping. Also, we badly need to get a new rug. I will never get a high pile rug for our main living space. This is such a filthy rug between the kids and the dog, snacks, everything. So if y'all have any ideas of a cute rug that would go in this space, send me the link, maybe on Instagram. That would be fantastic. And then the last thing that I'm going to do tonight is finally tackle this load of laundry. There's usually a load of laundry to fold, and I like to put it on my bed. Number one, it's an easy place to fold, but also it kind of forces me to fold it and not just like throw it on the floor somewhere and get it done. So I'm going to do that now. This is one of my kids' loads. The way that I like to do laundry, oh yes, random half-eaten apple on my bed. I'm so excited to get new bedding. I don't know when I'm going to or what I'm going to get, but I'll probably not do white again. It just gets so filthy. So anyways, the way I do laundry, maybe I should do a laundry routine video. Let me know if you guys would like to see that. But I do each person in the family's laundry by itself. So I do one of my daughters, one of mine. I don't mix all our clothes together. It just saves me a trip or a bunch of trips having to deliver clothes all over the house. So I just have to take the one load to the one person's room. But what I do first is I sort it all by like shirts, pants, socks, and then I lay the clothes out. I don't fold them necessarily. I do that when I get up to the room. It just is easier for me. Yes, I could get a basket. And I actually have like 4 of them, but I don't know where they are since we moved. So this is just the method that works for me. I lay it all out, then I take it up to their room, and I will either fold it, hang it, kind of just divvy it up there. So that's it for the cleaning routine, and my house is all nice and clean and reset for tomorrow. Super happy about that. But let's go ahead and I'm going to share with you the recipe that I made tonight. It's meatballs with polenta, lots of cheeses, so yummy, very comforting. So the first thing that you do is you add in tomatoes. Now, here's where I would change things up. I would not do diced tomatoes. I would do either a can of marinara, or I would do like tomato puree, but I would not do the canned. Or if you do the canned, I would drain out the liquid, the juices. Otherwise it gets way too juicy. I know from experience. And then I'm adding in some fresh garlic and some oregano. Now, a tip with the garlic, I buy a big bag of it from either Sam's Club or Costco. It's already peeled, and then I just stick that big bag in the freezer, and I take garlic cloves out as I need them. They're frozen, but they're still easy to chop. They thaw really fast too. So anyways, little tip. And then I'm adding in some fresh basil. Our store didn't sell any fresh basil in a little like package. They sold it. The only way they sold it was in a fresh like plant, but I didn't mind. It kind of gets me excited for garden season. So now I'm adding in some fresh basil. I did wash it before I tore it and added it to the dish. After you have shredded all your basil, you're gonna stir all these ingredients together, and now it's time for the meatball part. You can actually make this dish with your own homemade meatballs, and you can cook them raw. I did not want to mess with that, and my grocery store didn't sell any raw meatballs, so I'm just using some frozen ones just to make my life a little easier. It still works the exact same way. So you line them all out in your dish, and then I just put them in the oven to warm them. But if you're using raw meatballs, this would be the time to put them in the oven and like par bake them. Now I am slicing some onions. I just cut the onion in half, and now I'm cutting it into slices. And this is going to be cooked down and then added to the polenta. So to your pot, I'm using my Caraway Dutch oven. Add some butter and melt that completely, and then add in your onions, and you're gonna cook this down. I'll have the exact recipe and step-by-step instructions below, but you're gonna cook them down a little bit. Also add in some oregano. They're cooked down a little bit. You're going to use some polenta. This is, I just found it at my grocery store. It comes in a little chub like this, and then you just crush it with your fingers, crumble it, break it down into little grainy pieces, and then stir that all together. I am using mascarpone, don't know how to say that, but because I had it already in my fridge for something else I made, instead, if you don't want to use this, you can use ricotta, that works too, or you could even use cream cheese. And then I'm also adding in some Parmesan cheese, and I'm going to stir that all together, let the mascarpone melt and the Parmesan melt. And here is where the disaster happens. Oh no! Wow. Unfortunately, that was raw cream, which is really hard to come by in these parts, so I was sad to lose some of it, but for some reason it froze up at the top of my fridge. I don't normally freeze this, although it does freeze really good. So I add some cream in and then stir that all together. I've taken the meatballs out and I am pouring them all out into a bowl. See how liquidy the diced tomatoes are? You don't want that. That's not necessarily what you want. So you pour out almost all of the sauce and spread out whatever's left in the bottom of your pan. And now you are going to pour your polenta in and smooth it all out at the bottom, on the bottom of your pan. And then arrange your meatballs over the top of the polenta and finish with any of the tomato sauce that's left. So then the last thing you're gonna do is add some more Parmesan and bake it in the oven. And that's going to be it for today's video, y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out and being here today. I hope that this video just let you know that you're not alone in your motherhood messes, that houses get messy with kids, and that's okay. It's not forever, but it's the season of life that we're in right now, and we're in it together. I love y'all so much. You can follow me on Instagram if you're not already following me there, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.